Hey everyone, welcome to After the Run YouTube channel. My name is Doug. I've thrown 2 or 3 of my old TikTok videos out there as kind of a chance to get the ball rolling, but I have some people who do podcasts, I have some people who do Instagram, I have some people that do Facebook, I have others that do TikTok videos, I have some people that are trying or that do um, some of the other social media outlets. So I decided I'd be a little different and try a YouTube channel. So that's what we're doing. It's called After the Run. The premise is basically I'll sit here and just talk about the thoughts that I have when I'm running. And I would do that when I sit down after the run. And so sometimes it'll be about nutrition, sometimes it'll be about fitness, could just be a random thought that I have. I thought today I would introduce myself. My name is Doug. I live in Maine. Little history of myself is I started out as a physical education teacher, have since graduated to being a mailman. So between my physical education experience, my mailmanning experience, I'm a guy that kind of averages that 30,000 step a day. I feel like I have a lot to offer people with regards to maybe how to practice good nutrition, practice good fitness, and practice good training techniques that you might be able to apply. So that's kind of where I'm at. And so this week I'm trying to get started again. I'll kind of talk about what some of my goals and initiatives are. I kind of am on a 7-month plan right now, and we'll talk about that maybe in the next video. But it's been a beautiful couple of days. Got myself started back. Plan on kind of hitting the ground running in about 3 weeks, but my goal is to build a base. So that's all I'm really doing right now. And so today was day 2. And so I am a 15-time marathon finisher. My last marathon was the Vermont City Marathon in Burlington, Vermont, and that was 3 years ago. And since then I made a switch from New Hampshire to Maine. And my focus primarily really has just been getting some financial stability, getting some work stability, and some of my fitness and wellness was put in the back burner in order to reestablish who I am, where I am, and that's here in Maine. I'll talk a little bit about that in future videos. But finally, after roughly 3 years, it's a little less than 3 years, I'm finally getting myself back into the swing of things. And here's the first conversation that I thought I would try to start on my YouTube channel. And it is, which is worse? Is it worse to have been a runner in their peak running condition? For example, myself. I ran a marathon about 3 years ago. It would have been Memorial Day weekend in May 3 years ago. We're currently entering into March. Since then, I've basically done no running. So the last couple of days has been very frustrating because I know where I can be and I know where I've been. And I basically, for the first time since 2011, which was my 3rd knee surgery, which I'll talk about in a future video, I'm probably at the worst running shape I've ever been. So I'm starting from scratch. So the question is, which is worse and more frustrating? Is it more frustrating to have to start from scratch knowing where you were previous to now? Like, I've finished a marathon very comfortably, very successfully, and now I'm struggling to get through that 3 to 5 mile run. So I know where I was, and I know how far I've kind of lost it, and I'm basically starting from square one again. Is that worse, or is it worse to be a person who has never been a runner and now all of a sudden has taken on that challenge and is also starting from square one, but there's a naivety as to what your potential really can be? So that's the question, and I'd love to hear some comments, and that would be a great conversation to start. Like, basically, what is worse? What mentally could be? Which is the worst case scenario? Knowing where you were and having to start over, or never knowing where you've been and starting from square one. And my initial thought is sometimes that naivety is good, the anticipation of the potential and where can I go from here. Like that naivety, not knowing where you can go, your where your peak really is somewhat inspiring and motivational and a little less frustrating than me, for example, who went on my run today, and it's like, my goodness gracious, I'm a guy that has run this many miles a week, this many miles consecutively, this fast in the past, and now all of a sudden I can't get to even mile 3 in such and such a time, or et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to try to make that the first discussion topic of the YouTube video. So there we are. My goal here is you'll notice it's YouTube 101 on a budget. You may see a couple of my golden retrievers come through the scene from here and there. I have 3 of them. I also have a little mini Sheltie. You might see her. I think you just heard her clickety clacking around the room a little bit. So we are doing a YouTube video on a budget. I think there's a lot that I have to offer to people. I want to try to motivate you to be the best runner or fitness person that you can be. And, sometimes you'll see me sitting here at my chair. Sometimes you'll see me sitting or standing at the stove. Sometimes I might be standing out at the grill. Sometimes I might be walking on the beach. Sometimes I might be walking on the streets. But my goal is to try to bring some content and some conversations that might be very specific to nutrition or fitness or wellness, or it could be very random as to what was it that popped into my head during my run. All of which, my plan is to have that conversation after the run. And that's why I named my YouTube video After the Run. And of course, if you're a runner, you'll know that after every good run, no matter how fast, how slow, how frustrated you feel, any run is a good run and deserves some sort of a reward. So if you ran today, cheers. If you didn't, let's get those shoes on and get to work, and we'll talk again soon.